What if the biggest obstacle standing between you and the homeschool mom journey you dream of isn't your curriculum, it isn't your routine, and it's not even your kids, but the war you silently wage against yourself? Today we'll explore how radical acceptance doesn't change your mindset, it transforms your entire experience. This week we explored Tara Brach's powerful book, Radical Acceptance, in the Confident Homeschool Mom Collective, and I wanted to share some of the most meaningful insights for homeschool families who couldn't join us. If you're looking for the book, this is it. At the heart of our discussion was the concept of playing small versus deciding to play big in our journey, our mom journey, our female journey. We all recognize those moments when we hold ourselves back, when we dim our light, or we silence our voice, or we limit ourselves in some way in our lives. Well, as Tara Brach beautifully puts it, clearly recognizing what is happening inside of us and regarding what we see with an open, kind, and loving heart is what I call, and what she calls, radical acceptance. One of our key realizations for radical acceptance in our homeschool practice was this: before we step into something bigger, whatever it is we feel called to be bigger in, we first need to give ourselves permission to fully feel our feelings without judgment or without the need to fix them immediately, especially on difficult days. Permission to be vulnerable, to show up authentically even when our days didn't go the way that we wanted, even when it feels risky to be our true selves in a group or in a relationship. And permission to recognize how our own self-imposed expectations or self-imposed boundaries don't just affect us, they shape how we interact with and potentially limit our kids' life experience too. Many homeschool moms in our group identified with what Tara Brach said, talking about the trance of unworthiness, that pervasive feeling that somehow we're failing or we're not enough. I hear that conversation point all the time. Is this enough? And though sometimes homeschool moms are referring to the list of things that they want to accomplish for their child's education, it usually has its root in this challenge of enoughness, whether they feel enough. We discussed how we resist accepting our emotions in our homeschool journeys. When we feel overwhelmed or inadequate or uncertain, our first instinct is often to push those feelings away rather than acknowledging them. We don't have time for them. We don't want to dig into them because we want to do something else. But what if instead we practiced Tara Brach's R.A.I.N method? Here's what she teaches. R.A.I.N is an acronym. R stands for recognize what's happening. So actually stop and pause and check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What are the thoughts that you're experiencing? What's happening for you? Then A is to allow it to be there, just as it is. Just let it be. Don't try to fight it. Don't pretend that it's not there. Don't try to do something to make it go away or just ignore it. Allow it to be there. I is to investigate with curiosity and kindness. And nurture with self-compassion is N. What can you do to address your emotions the same way that you would want to address your young child? You can practice learning to address for you as well. Or perhaps the self-compassion you would give to your girlfriend on a day when she's having a hard day. Nurture with self-compassion. Recognize what's happening. Allow it to be there just as it is. Investigate with curiosity and kindness. And nurture with self-compassion. Our discussion revealed how many of us hold unrealistic expectations of ourselves as home educators and mothers. We reflected on Brach's wisdom when she said, when we practice radical acceptance, we begin to trust that no matter how lost we feel, we belong to this life, this moment, this awareness. We talked about how self-compassion isn't just for us. It fundamentally shifts how we show up for our kids and our partners and the most important people in our lives. When we're gentler with ourselves, we naturally become more present and compassionate too. This homeschool mom life can bring up intense emotions: fear that we're not doing enough, anger when things don't go as planned, or loneliness at times because we don't feel connected and in community. Tara Brach reminds us that our fear is not the enemy. Our relationship to fear is what frees us or imprisons us. In this radical acceptance homeschool approach, we can practice breathing through that fear. We can name what we're feeling. I'm overwhelmed by this homeschool mom life. I can breathe in and say, I see you. You feel overwhelmed. You can breathe out and say, I'll allow you to be here. I asked everyone in the collective this question, and now I want to ask you. How willing are you to allow yourself to play bigger in your homeschool mom journey? What boundaries to acceptance are limiting your freedom as a home educator, as a mother, as a woman? What would be playing bigger for you? At the end of our book club, I was inspired to share the words and the song by Rachel Platten. Rachel Platten's Fight Song. Sometimes we need these external reminders that we're stronger than we think, that we have the ability to reclaim our story, to rewrite it even, and step into our fullest potential as moms and home educators and women. I'd love to hear your thoughts on applying radical acceptance to your homeschool mom life. What is one insight from today's video? What practice do you want to incorporate in your daily homeschool mom rhythm? Share your reflections in the comments below. And if you found this valuable, please give it a like, consider subscribing for more Homeschool Mom Book Club insights. And until next week, remember that playing bigger in your homeschool mom life doesn't mean doing more. Sometimes it simply means accepting yourself exactly as you are right now. May we all continue practicing radical acceptance and self-compassion in our homeschool mom life.